we all
Yes,
sipping
we're
from our
live.
coffee
I
mug?
Are we
see
live?
it.
We are live. We are
We are live.
broadcasting.
Everyone sip.
Yep.
Hello
everyone sip.
to all 0 of you who might be watching this live.
There might
Yep.
be a few.
There is a reason that we are streaming this live, and it's actually pretty appropriate to something that we'll get into later. But first, we should probably tell you what this is. This is the first official episode of Up for a Challenge. Up for a
Woo.
Challenge is a show with Sarah and Adam and myself. I'm Jeff, and each week we're going to challenge ourselves, or each episode, I don't know how many there'll be, we're going to challenge ourselves to do something strange, something outside our comfort zone, something that is a challenge. So with that said, I think we should introduce each other, and then we'll hop into a little bit of what we had Sarah do last week for the pre-episode.
Sure.
All right. So who's who?
Hi, I'm Adam.
I'm Kaiser Sose. No, I'm Sarah, obviously.
And I'm Jeff, and I'm sporting the official Assembler FM mug that money cannot buy, but Sharpie can make.
I like the logo. It's I don't know. It's superhero-y. I think just because Avengers is on the brain, and so it kind of evokes Avengers to me. Yeah.
Well, and then the assemble side of it, Avengers Assemble, and I was going for kind of like a radio tower with stuff broadcasting out, but it was nice because as I recall in Art Technique, the first thing we talked about was the logo. So let's move on.
check that box. Move on.
Speaking of this show, after the live broadcast is over and a little bit of editing has happened, the show, certainly the audio version and probably the video version, will be up at assembler.fm/U4C/1. So assembler.fm/U as in the letter, 4 as in the number, C as in another letter, /1.
I will be impressed if anybody is writing that down and/or remembering it.
You don't have to. It's in the show notes.
That's what I mean. Like, why?
So you're saying I shouldn't bother to really
Well, I
articulate.
put it on
Right.
Instagram,
That's fair.
so it's official.
That's right. Speaking of, last week, I guess it was, we were trying to figure out what the show was going to be, and it evolved into this idea, and we said, well, we need a challenge. And Sarah, would you like to tell us about what your challenge was for last week?
My challenge was to join Instagram because I don't do a lot of social media, and technology frustrates me a lot. And I'm kind of a private person, so I was challenged to join Instagram since I was on set. I work as an actor, by the way, if you don't know that. And all these people were like, oh, do you have an Instagram? And so it was funny how it went from, do you have a Facebook to do you have an Instagram? And I joined Instagram. So you can follow me at Masquerade Jane. That's my Instagram handle. But yeah, it was interesting because it's just pictures, like people talking in hashtags and post pictures. And I think that's really cool because in Facebook, you have statuses and news things and crap that other people want you to see and see things that they see. But the pictures was just nice. It was like a nice little picture book. But I don't know. It felt a little detached to me. But I'm still on it. So, there's that.
I just dropped a crucial piece of the show. Y'all keep talking. Tell us how it went, Sarah.
Yeah. Sarah, what kind of things did you put up there on Instagram? Because also being a private person, when you sent out the thing, I was like, hey, I've got an Instagram account. I'm like, I don't really want to sign up for it to see. So I was like, Sarah will tell me about it Saturday. So,
yeah. So I was choosy because, even on Facebook, I don't put a lot of stuff just because, I don't know, it's mine. But yeah, I tried to post a picture a day. Usually it was of the cats or like something funny I saw. And I use I do the hashtag like crazy cat lady. Today I posted the mug that I made last night. And I hashtagged crafty bitch and crazy cat lady because, they go together. But yeah, it's been nice. But like it's still, I don't know, it's still so bizarre to me that it's like, look at my life, look at my life, look at my life. And we're in this,
we say as we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yes, but like, this is my first podcast. You guys are like,
we're old
soldiers.
I'm about to say, don't say professionals. Don't say.
No, you can just say old, and that's enough. Yeah.
That's enough.
But you're
enough.
seasoned. You're well seasoned.
Oh, I like that better. Yes.
There you go.
Like a fine turducken, we're both seasoned.
So for
And bad for your
turducken,
heart.
who's inside of whom?
Let's save that for the explicit shows.
Okay, sure.
Anyways, so
But you
I
were
mean,
saying, Sarah, yeah.
yeah, you were saying.
But like it kind of goes to the thing, if I don't post it, does it happen? Or like, I don't know. It's like if we don't see it on Instagram or we don't see it on Facebook, it's sort of like, how do we know how to talk to people? Like, because I find more often than not that when I have to go into social situations or if I'm meeting people for the first time, everyone is on their phone. And it's sort of like, it's bizarre because, like, how do you start a conversation of, oh, are you on an Instagram? And then it's like, oh, well, let me look at your pictures instead of asking you stuff. And that's just,
Right.
I have a hard time with that just because I guess I'm old inside.
Yeah. And I get that, yeah, that it's almost like there's this shorthand and that your social media presence is kind of like a filter, I guess, of, well, do I want to bother with that next step of talking directly to this person? Let me see
Right.
what things they like. What do they like to
Right.
do? And if it's worth it, then maybe I'll follow through. But
I actually
Right.
think I summarized Instagram fairly well on Twitter, of all things. I said something like, Instagram, when you care enough about someone to see what they're doing, but not enough to hear what they have to say.
yeah, sure.
But
Yeah, that
on
makes
that,
sense.
though, like, my 10-year high school reunion came up, and, like, I didn't want to go. And someone posted this meme of, no need to go to reunion because we can see what you're doing on Facebook. And, like, I was always on the outside in high school anyway, so it's sort of like, I don't know why when there is Facebook and people are posting things, do I need to catch up and talk with you? I mean, like, that makes sense for my grandmother's generation and for my parents' generation when they didn't have that, so catching up actually meant something. But, like, with social media the way it is, it's like, I know what you guys are up to. Like, what's...
Right. I kind of went through, and talking last week, saying, my Facebook account when it got hacked, and all the hoops that I had to jump to kind of get that back, and I told you guys that it was a weird sort of experience that. Number one, I hadn't been on my Facebook in a year and a half, but then suddenly when it was taken away from me, I had this sense of, this is mine. I got to
Right.
fight to get it back.
Right.
And so,
These are my toys. I may not play with them, but this truck is mine.
Right. Oh, and so anyway, so going back, kind of casually and passively this last week, just to look at my news feed and kind of read through what people were doing, and I don't know, I didn't feel particularly engaged, even just reading very cursory, like, I'm at this event, or, give money to this cause, or here's a news article. You know what I mean? Like, I find a lot of stuff that I'm interested on my own news-wise. And so Facebook doesn't really, I don't know. It used to be most of the things, the news stories or articles that I felt compelled to respond to were usually people that were on the other end of the ideological spectrum. And I felt like I had to post some kind of rebuttal. But yeah, so I get what you're saying about not, I don't know, not being fully invested in sort of the medium,
Yeah.
And it's weird too, because I had a job, a phone interview the other day, and one of the things that this new company, this new organization is looking for specifically, they want somebody to help them manage their online social media presence. And I explained to them, I was like, I am aware, and I've got certainly better skills than I had at it 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years ago. But it's not my strong suit, right?
Right.
And so I was very straightforward with them, and I think that was fine. But I don't know. Again, I guess as you move forward, or at least in some of the jobs that I'm looking at, that sort of web presence and that sort of social media engagement is becoming really, really important to organizations. But it's also weird on the other end, because I look at organizations I've worked for, and sometimes I don't feel like the way they approach the medium is that it ever breaks through the noise, right?
Right.
And so, and again, I can just spot the problem, but I don't know what the fix is. Yeah.
But like, and that's interesting what you're talking about, like the presence, because like when I was given the challenge, it was sort of like, well, do I make my profile private or do I make it public just to see what can happen? And I made it public, and now there's people I don't even really know following me, and I was like, oh God. Well, I guess like if you are trying to get a following, like that's a good thing. I mean, I think about how a lot of people from YouTube who become YouTube famous, like corporations are going after them because they have such a huge following for just doing something they love. I mean, even our friend or colleague or whatever, Sarah Hopkins, is Vine famous. You know what I mean? And she has like whatever, and she just started doing it for fun, and then it became like a thing because social media is really sort of where the next, I guess, talk show people generational stuff is happening. And since television is moving to the internet, and the internet is really how most people watch television these days, like, I don't know. It's sort of like if you want to do entertainment, you sort of just have to get on the bandwagon, and just so you can like put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting on the
Business-wise.
bandwagon and television being the future and those kinds of things, that brings us into this week and setting up Adam's challenge for this week. Now, speaking of Instagram,
Yes.
we were just talking about, I posted both on my account, which is just my name, Jeff Holbrook, and on Assembler FM's account, a picture of a really wacky podcast diagram with like all these like lines, and this is going to this, and this is going to this, because I had to figure out how to do this next part that we're going to do here, and I think I finally got it. Adam, I want to introduce you to two things. I want to introduce you to something called Meerkat, and I want to introduce you to something called Periscope. Have you heard of either of these?
I have heard of a meerkat and a periscope, but maybe not not the metaphorical
Not
or
the way that
symbolic allusions that you are implying. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to hook this thing up here, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So
Okay.
give me a second here. For those of you who are just listening to this, I'm doing a screen share, and what I'm showing Adam and everyone, I believe, is can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's a lot of other stuff, right? Okay.
I see the periscope and the meerkat. I like the
Okay,
symbol
great.
for the meerkat. That's actually really cute.
Yeah, right. It's pretty neat.
I don't see any of that.
Click
Do
on the
you see-
assembler box.
That's the one that's up in my screen.
Oh.
Yeah. I just see the Assembler FM
It's in-
logo, and that's
Oh,
it.
good. Yeah, you just okay. Do you see my little numbers? No, you don't see anything.
No.
Oh.
Are there
Okay.
numbers? I just see the two icons.
Yeah, that's not even accurate right now.
Oh.
Oh, so that went dead.
Technology.
Technology. Well, the benefits of this being a live broadcast is you get to watch me fix it. The benefit of this being recorded later is I'm going to cut this crap out. So hang on a second and let me fix this.
Well, since he's fixing it, I think every week we should have wacky mugs for funs and giggles.
I do have a couple. I slimmed them down a little bit when I moved because I was like, I kind of went through a phase when I was down in Georgia and teaching that, I had a lot of expendable income. So I was buying
Right.
mugs like crazy then.
I love mugs.
Right. And then then when I realized, I was like, I might be moving around a bit more in the next couple of years. So I whittled it down to, I think, five I've got. And it's real funny. One of them that I've got, it was in the sort of mug collection, and it was this real tiny and very, very sturdy and dense, and it said Myrtle Beach on it and had like, seashells and stuff. But for every year, for like years, that always seemed to be the mug that was available to me when I would, come down to teachers'
For
meeting.
teacher meetings, yeah.
Yeah, and so I just that would be my mug for the day, or then I take it to the room and then take it to the meeting the next morning, and so I kind of became very possessive of this mug, and it was funny because a lot of other people were just bringing in coffee from McDonald's or wherever they had done drive-through, but. And so I just became very possessive of this mug. And so one time I remember I saw it and I thought to myself, I was like, I should take that mug. And so I did. I took the mug. And so it's not one that I drink coffee out of very often or tea.
Because
because it's so small. Like it's so much
Right.
smaller than what I would consider a cup of coffee. It's actually probably the actual serving size of a cup of coffee.
Right.
Right. But I, I own it now, and so it's
That's
one
nice.
of my mugs that I in my collection. It's
In
the
high school, I
permanent.
left a mug at the Springer, and it was my favorite mug. And like for years, I'd be like, "Where the hell is it?" And then this past summer, I found it again, and I freaked
Wow.
out. But it was like so used. and
Which
it had
mug
cracked.
was it? I'm curious because I probably
was-
used it at some point.
It was
Yeah.
maroon on the inside, and then it had a heart and like an old. It almost looked like an old like stitch work, but it wasn't stitch
Yeah.
work. It had a heart
Okay.
and it had like little leaves, but it was maroon on the inside and cream on the outside. And I've always loved that mug. I've had it
That's great.
forever.
Come back to me. Can everyone see
Yes.
my phone and the little icons moving?
Yes, and
Yes.
you're doing swooshy swoosh.
Okay, great. I'm doing swooshy swoosh. Okay, great. So you should now be able to see my phone with Periscope and Meerkat. So Meerkat first premiered, I think, at South by Southwest, and tech journalists were very happy about it. They thought it was like, it was kind of the darling of South by Southwest, apparently, and it was pretty neat. But Meerkat ran their service kind of on the back of Twitter, and Twitter freaked out and said, oh no, you better don't. And they launched their own thing called Periscope that launched the day that Meerkat got its last round of funding, or its first round of funding, or some important milestone like that. So right now they are neck and neck. First, I'm going to show you Meerkat since it got here first. So you might be hearing a little bit of fuzz or static, and that's because of the headphone jack on the phone. I don't know how the sound's going to carry over, but if the sound sucks, we'll just cut it out. So here is Meerkat. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
All right, what we're looking at here. First, I have a score of 0. I don't really know what the score is all about.
Is it like your followers or something?
No, it's a leaderboard, which I don't quite understand and I don't really like.
Okay.
I can schedule a stream to happen, or I can start a stream, or I can join streams of people I follow, or a global stream. So let's see.
Good morning, #Meerkat.
Yeah,
I'm just reading some.
I see. So we've got JS Needles, Stony Lion, Aeromental, MC Morton. I don't know any of these people.
Andy Gubby. What a great name. My name's Andy Gubby.
All right, let's look at Andy Gubby's.
Yes.
So you see all the people that
It's
are
raining.
part of it.
Oh, and he has some... Nope, we're going to leave. I don't like what they're saying. Go away.
Oh, I don't even hear it. Oh,
Go
I see
away.
it.
Well,
I see.
we're reading it.
Whoops. Well, there you go.
Sorry, one person watching this live stream.
That's right. That's
Right.
right. On the audio, just to let you know, they were saying some not nice things
Yeah.
in the video. Let's hop into whatever's going on here.
I don't think I like Meerkat, man.
So
They're hostile.
So let me get this. So this is a sort of aggregate site where there's all these different streams, and you can click on and just watch people live streaming, filming
Jeff,
things
don't
around
tap
the world.
on that
Is that
woman's
right?
eyes. She's like giving you a seductive look. Like that's just we're gonna see something.
I
that
can
don't
barely
wanna...
even see. Let's see these people with the hats.
Is
Well,
that what
yes.
we're watching? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But there's one difference between Meerkat and Periscope. Meerkat, all this stuff happens in real time, and when the stream is over, it's over. You can't go
Right.
back and rewatch it. Periscope, you have a few hours to replay it. Also, there's another difference with Periscope is that you can send people little hearts by tapping on the screen if you like what's going on. So let me pull up a Periscope here.
When Jeff did Periscope, when we were at Nerd Trivia, apparently I got asked to prom.
She did.
What?
By some
I've
random
saved the
person.
video of that Periscope. I'll play it in a minute. But okay, so let's see. So right now, no one I'm following is live. Okay, great. That's kind of boring. But I can go to the global stream, and I can.
What is more pups? Is that like live puppies?
I have no idea. Let's get ready for Prince George. Let's look at the royal baby.
Oh yeah, because Princess Kate just gave birth to a princess. So she had a girl, and they're all like, "Oh my God, he had a girl!" Oh, look at all the hearts, man! People are freaking out.
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's like just it's.
Yeah, and this is live.
So the kid's name is Max. Is that what I'm seeing? No.
I don't. This is follow Max somebody.
No,
so,
I think it's Maggie. I don't know. Or they're trying to guess the name.
I'll put a
they're
screenshot.
trying to guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you kind of get the idea, right? And if I like what's going on, I can tap on the screen, and that means I'm sending little hearts.
Okay.
And so apparently we're waiting outside to find out something about the royal baby. Okay, fine. Okay. Someone wants to name the royal baby
they announced
Aya.
that it was a girl on BBC News.
Right.
So.
Anyway, I feel like you get the idea, yeah?
Yeah. So they both they both are sort of offering the idea of watching something live happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a variation in terms of how you can access the information or how long that information is available to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So what I'd like to challenge you to do, Adam, is I want to challenge you. Is that a cat meowing again? I want to challenge you.
Their paws are under my door trying to get in.
All right. I want to get this right. Adam.
Yes.
I want to challenge you to, and I'm going to help you with this, all right?
Okay.
To join Periscope, specifically, and live stream something about your day every day until the next show. And at the next show, we will do a Periscope broadcast of the next show, as well as the Hangout stuff, and find out how it went.
Okay.
So you are up for the challenge.
So let me ask, because just again, because I am up for the challenge. I'll start with that. All right. Will I need to? Because I'm going to be. I know that this next week is going to involve a lot of traveling into faraway Eastern Kentucky sort of places.
Perfect.
And so, but my access to being able to live stream anything is going to be extremely limited based on reception and Wi-Fi accessibilities.
That just sounds like a part of the challenge to me, Adam.
All right.
That means you might have to do it at some crazy hour of the night. Now, I am going to help you out because to do this, you have to have a Twitter account. So, I get a twofer. But I am going to set you up a burner account, as we call it in espionage. All right?
Okay.
So that provides you a little cushion of anonymity.
Okay.
So I'll set you up a burner Twitter account, and we'll attach it to a Periscope.
Well, I have a question. Why don't you just make it assembler.fm, the Twitter handle, and then he can just use that one, and it can be part of the show.
He can just use ours. That's fine. I can just give you the creds for ours.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if it's a part of the show, then it can be together, and
All right, that's fine for me. That's
easy for people to follow.
All right, so sure. Adam, if we'll
See
be
how
periscoping.
I helped you out there, Adam?
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah.
So if you are on Twitter and Periscope, follow assembler.fm. It's Assembler FM on Twitter. It should be the same thing on Periscope. And I'll just make sure to, once we hang up, to start following people indiscriminately, so you have a bunch of people to follow.
Okay.
And there you go. And we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
In a week. That sounds fun.
All right. So get ready, Internet. I live a pretty
right?
I live a pretty exciting breakneck type of life. So buckle your seatbelts, because you're going to see a lot of cooking at home.
Yes.
And driving to places.
I would love it if you did a cooking tutorial. That would be fantastic.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see what Adam does next week. And I'm going to say that wraps up Assembler's FM's debut.
Didn't you say if they have challenges to put them on our Twitter?
Yeah. If you have a challenge, tweet us at Assembler FM with the hashtag U4C so that we can search for it and find it. And we got any kind of sign off or anything?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
I am Jeff, and I have no kind of sign off. So there you go.
I'm Sarah, and I gotta go help my cats.
Yeah, and I am Adam, and I'm probably gonna go watch Avengers. So.
Okay. See you next week, everybody.